Just give you guys this is a very quick stream. Something worth noting about restoring the Snyderverse and what's taking place. Now I was trying to be on the stream with Prime on Prime stream, but this phone's just too slow. It's an old phone, and it's even remarkable. I'm even streaming right now, so I wasn't able to say what I wanted to say on that stream. But what I'm going to talk to you guys about right now is why David Zaslav was talking about Wonder Woman, Batman, Superman, and Aquaman. He included Aquaman in that. The reason is because those are the highest box offices. All right, the highest box offices in the DCEU have been with Batman v Superman, Wonder Woman, uh, Suicide Squad, Aquaman. Okay, those have been the highest box offices in the theater. Now, so that's why he said what he said concerning mentioning Aquaman with that. Now, again, a message to David Zaslav and to Warner Brothers Discovery. I'm telling you right now, I don't care that you merged Discovery with Warner Brothers. The only way the DC properties are going to do well is if you have customer satisfaction, which means the fans drive that. I keep on saying it over and over again. I mean, the fans drive it. So Marvel and Kevin Feige, and I know Alan Horn knows this, but Kevin Feige, they understood that the fans, you have to give the fans what they want. Okay? The reason why all those other films flopped at the box office of recent times is because the fans were dissatisfied with what the content was. And we got to realize that a significant portion of DC fans are Snyder fans. Okay? And if they're not Snyder fans, they definitely jumped on the Snyder bandwagon. So I hope that David Zaslav is paying attention to what we as fans are saying about Restore the Snyderverse. I hope he's not trying to. We're not going to get a Justice League movie for the next, 6, 7, 8 years, because that would be a bad move on his part. I'm just saying we need to see the Trinity on the screen as soon as possible. Okay, it's not playing catch up with Marvel or anything like that. It's just that we need to see that as soon as possible. Now, the trades and certain fans out there who were not even DC fans, and some of them were DC fans, but not real DC fans, were saying that you have to have more standalone movies and bullshit like that. Clearly, David Zaslav understands that the standalone movies are not going to do well if you do not link them to Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman. He also understands, and I believe this is all from fan demographics, he also understands that HBO Max is mostly a male skewed service. So mostly guys watch HBO Max. What he should do, they should do a survey or poll on who the DC fans are and what percentage of the DC fans are male or female. That's another very important thing because how you target your advertising will depend on who you're dealing with. But even more importantly, he needs to understand that this Restore the Snyderverse campaign is going nowhere. We're going to continue to bombard the powers that be until Mr. Zack Snyder comes back to Warner Brothers and finishes off his arc. Which, by the way, I put up on Twitter the original plan, and the original plan was the best plan out there. Now, we had guys like Kevin Tsuchihara and Jeff Johns sabotaging the whole process, which is why Marvel got ahead of us. But um, for the most part, it was a great plan. It was a much more grounded universe, much more fleshed out characters. It was just amazing what Zack Snyder was doing. And I will say this again, I will repeat myself. There's no better person to deal with DC. And I'm going to say this Christopher Nolan was 100% correct. Christopher Nolan had put the right guy there. There's nobody better and more capable to handle the DC properties properly so that the fans are satisfied, well, most of them at least. We're not talking about the scoopers and the traders who, they're bought by the company, to do narratives. We're not talking about them. We're not talking about those people on YouTube, some of those vloggers who are bought by the company to spew out certain messages. I'm not talking about them. I am talking about DC fans. Most of them love Zack Snyder's work. Okay, and it's clear that that is so because this movement, since it started, and the fact that the movement was successful in getting Zack Snyder's movie to HBO Max, and then it's now on digital. I have a copy of digital, and then also on Blu-ray and DVD. The only thing this fandom has not successfully done is get it into theaters, and that's the last step. We kind of doing it reverse engineering everything, but it needs to get into theaters, and we need to see how it performs. But ultimately, in the end, and it has seen some theaters. The fans themselves have sponsored during the COVID and put it into theaters in the UK and in the US in some select theaters for a short period of time. But my point anyway is this, and that's a thing that needs to be seen in theaters. My point is this: David Zaslav and his team, as competent as they are, and I'm sure they're very mindful of this, will understand that without us, without this is not a little fandom. This is a huge fandom. 1.5 million Twitter posts. Come on now. Yesterday, Release the Air Cut did 50,000. Oh, no, sorry, my bad. Over 60,000 tweets. Release the Air Cut. Okay, this movement is tremendous. There's a tremendous set of people. There are fringe people on the movement who, are mainstream. And then we have people who are deeply in the movement. We have Mia Khalifa, who's I think she's a porn star or whatever, but she follows. She's a big DC fan. We've got people from all spectrums of life following this thing. And let me explain to you guys as a Christian why I don't. I'm very. I don't label people. I don't say this person's lost or this person's saved. I don't go into that. I don't care what background you are. This movie, if it has an impact on your life, it's going to transform you. It's going to make you want to be a better person. So when I see particularly certain people who, religious minded people will say, well, what are you doing with these people, right? What are you doing measure? You have to understand as a Christian. So there's something. See, for people who are a certain mindset, there's certain things they say Christians do not associate themselves with or be with. But if you look at Jesus, Jesus was with the tax collectors. The tax collectors back in the day was like the mafia, in a way, like the IRS, the mafia, like the mafia, because they were involved in all kinds of things. Their hands were in everything. All right. And then he associated himself with prostitutes. He associated himself with with the lowest of the lowest in society. Some people will say, you know, the poor people, the lower class, the people from Galilee. This dude was from Galilee. Galilee was like gangster. You know what I mean? And Jesus was able to get along with everyone and still not be anything else but what he was. He held his standards, his values together. He did some controversial things as well in his time. We have to understand as as Christians that we are supposed to go into any territory and any place, whether it's a dangerous place to go into, whether it's associated with people who some people would call low class people, whatever. We must be able to go with rich people, poor people, people with high morals and integrity, people with no morals, no integrity. We must be able to go anywhere, any place, whether it's in the bars, whether it's in wherever. There is no limit to where we as Christians should go. And what's beautiful about Zack Snyder's Justice League is it's a very spiritual film. And that film is touching all kinds of people from all kinds of backgrounds, from all kinds of cultures. That's what I'm trying for you guys to understand what Zack Snyder's doing, and why for me it's a very significant thing. It's a very important thing because see, and Zack, took the mythos and he was unapologetic in linking it to the gospel, which to me, I mean, it's a tremendous tool. Okay, um, so you know, uh, when I heard Mia Khalifa was like totally into DC and looking for the Snyderverse to be restored, I was surprised. I was shocked. Mia Khalifa was a former Muslim, okay, former Muslim, okay, and she's involved in porn and all kinds of stuff, whatever. But Mia Khalifa, and this is the important point I want to make with everybody here. She's hooked on the Snyderverse. Now, if you are hooked on the Snyderverse, let me tell you why that's important. The Snyderverse highlights qualities of people. I'm going to say it again. The Snyderverse is all about qualities of people. Zack Snyder's movies, what makes, to me, his movies so potent is how he's able to take invisible things and give you a sense of visibility to them. Let me give you an example. So the way how Zack Snyder paints the picture of hope and how hope can sort of slip away for a minute and then be brought back in BVS, particularly with Clark, Clark, aka Kal-El, when he lost hope, and Lois Lane's trying to explain something to him, but he's not even listening to her. He's in a totally different place in his mind, and how his conversation in reflection with his father while he's piling up these stones. No, it's not his father piling the stones. It's actually Clark piling these stones, okay? In memorial for his father. So he's like making a memorial there for his father. And if you look, there's some sticks on the top of it, right? And that moment where he realizes it's about the love he has for people who love him and are invested in him, that moment there brings back the hope to him, and you hear him say, "I miss you, Father," you know, you know, and it's because of the love for his father that he has that connection. I remember in the Matrix, I think it was Matrix, what was it, Revolutions, I think it was, one of them. Uh, they were talking about love as well, and the program at the time was telling Neo, love is a word. It describes a relationship. And it's just unique to hear these different ways of describing something, right? Which is not visible. And so, for me, BVS is a very spiritual film, teaching. It actually is sort of elucidating or showing, illustrating things that are there, which make us what we are. Okay, and he Zach basically is showing us um, what what mythos is trying to show us, which is mythos. Why we have Hercules, why we love Hercules, right? Or why we love these stories about Zeus or Athena, or all these heroes or these gods or whatever you want to call them, is because our rooting or desire or being wants to be better, and to be better, these attributes are the things that these people have, the embodiment of these attributes. The attributes is what we like. All right, Superman, why everybody identifies with Superman is because of the hopefulness that he brings to the table, right? That's why people identified with, ooh, oh man, I cramped up on one leg, so I had to flip. um, that's why we had. That's why a lot of people identified with Barack Obama, because he spoke and gave people a certain degree of hope, hopefulness. All right, so I'm saying that the fans are very important, and I hope David Zaslav is paying attention to which are the real fans in the fandom and which are the fake fans in the fandom. Because fake fans, they talk a lot, they're probably not the majority, and they don't support. If the people for so many years who were bad talking Zack Snyder and bad talking his films, talking about how much they were flops and failures, these people got what they wanted. They got the movies that they wanted. They got the CW in movies, sort of cheap kind of thing, Marvelized stuff. But they didn't support it. We didn't see big blockbuster monies, and then the excuse was, well, Walter Murray's doing low budget films so they can make a small profit. But small profit don't move the needle because you got big debt, right? Even though companies always have debt, right? Or businesses always have debt. In fact, America's built on debt, right? That's why you have credit rating, right? But suffice it to say, you want to have a strong, robust business. You want to be generating money. And for the last, I would say the last 5 years, Warner Brothers has been losing money. Losing money. They have not been gaining money. I don't care what statistics they put. Too many films were flopping. It started off with their great idea to make Justice League fun and light that flopped at the box office. It mega flopped. Then they went on to do the Harley Quinn film, and they tried to make it rated R, but at the same time, they're trying to make it funny, and they're trying to hold back. There's no blood, really. She's not killing people like it. So what happened? They're trying to make it fun and light while it's rated R, right? You can't do either. You can't make it fun and light and rated R. Rated R means go all out, okay? It's going to be edgy. That's what Harley Quinn's a person who would kill a person in a twinkling of an eye. You know what I mean? So if you're going to have it violent, then go violent. Go violent. Don't hold back. Don't do it halfway. And the action wasn't that great either. And shout out to the director. The director, I know the studio put certain mandates on the director and capped her. I could tell. I could tell these directors because they want to go all the way with some stuff, and you could tell the studio was like, nah, but it's rated R, man, and the studio's still like, nah, you could feel that stupid vibe, all the way through. When a movie's not 100% committed to by a director or by the crew, you can feel it. All right, because they were trying to push the CW onto Warner Brothers theatrical runs. They were trying to keep a continuity with the CW into movies. That's what Jeff Johns was trying to do. Okay, because they knew there were Marvel directors who were directing CW series. So they were going to take the Marvel directors now, Marvel with Marvel, and clash the DC with Marvel. It won't work because DC's DC. When it comes to movies, DC's DC. Don't come trying to make DC Marvel. Don't try to tone it down, make it fun and all this bullshit. We don't want to hear that. Stick with the character, stick with the tone. Nobody has a problem with a funny movie. Nobody has a problem with movies that are jokey or whatever, but it needs to stay in character with what the character is and the content is. You got a studio mandate saying it needs to be funny. Nah, don't put no fucking, sorry about that, Bob. Don't put no studio mandate on nothing. Don't do it. Just don't do it. Cause it totally messes up the directorial uniqueness. And now all those movies seem to be the same. It's the same sort of formulaic bullshit. And I hate that. That's what I hate about Marvel. I don't like Marvel because of that. So there are a lot of DC fans that feel exactly like myself. All right, so David Zaslav hopefully is listening to the fans. And hopefully we're going to get this Justice League film sooner than later because he's talking about, Marvel sort of approach to things. with Alan Horn. I hope not. I hope it's not. We gotta wait another 5, 6 years for another Justice League movie because I think that's just a waste of my damn time. I'm not gonna do that. And the actors are getting older and everything. If you're gonna do it, you gotta do it, and you gotta do it soon. You gotta get these films building up. You know, the Flash movie need to finish properly, which means maybe probably redoing the whole damn thing. Um, the Black Adam movie, it need to be reworked and seriously. You know, in the Aquaman movie, hopefully James Wan came back and did something better than he did the last time. Otherwise, man, we still gonna get some flops. Yeah. Now, with respect to David Zaslav, I'm gonna say it again. I'm not playing around. If David Zaslav wants a home run, he need to go with what we say as the fans, which means that air cut has to come out somewhere, somehow, some way, and better in the cinemas because I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I like that he's talking about theatrical runs because that Snyder cut's supposed to be in the theaters. The air cut needs to be in the theaters. Um, I know that David Zaslav has the money because he's using the money to try and build up the Flash and Black Adam to be, you know, if he can, high 100 millions returns. So whatever they invest into the films, they're hoping for a reasonably high return. They understand damage control until Justice League comes back on the scene. Since David Zaslav keeps on talking about the Trinity, the Trinity, the Trinity, I know he should. He should push for Justice League 2 to come out. All right, Zack Snyder helming it, and I know the trades are going to try and chop down Zack Snyder and all that. Nobody cares about what the trades say anymore. The trades have been trash for how many years? They've been wrong about so many things. They said the Snyder Cut doesn't exist. They said the Snyder Cut would never come out, and it did. All right. They say that now the Snyderverse will never be restored, and blah blah blah. Well, it more than likely will be. Okay. So the trades haven't been accurate. They've been off. They've been wrong. And so it's really up to us as fans to keep pushing for what we want. We're not stopping. I need to hear David Zaslav say on the dotted line, listen, the air cut is coming out next year. He needs to say that. We're not accepting nothing else. You know, he's not our friend. We had that issue with Jason Keeler. You know, and we got the Snyder Cut under him, but guys' heads rolled because they okayed the Snyder Cut. But I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be straight with you guys. Zaslav need to rehire some of those guys too, man. And they need to, you know, Zaslav's trying to get results, but you got to understand something, Zaslav. No matter what you do, you need the fans to rock with you. As solid and confident as you talk, you need us to rock with you. Okay? Not them fake ass fans that be protesting Batgirl, and now we ain't hearing nothing from them. No, we're talking about fans like us that made shit happen. The Snyder Cut came into being because of us. And because we had faith. And the Snyderverse is going to come into being with or without you or without the support of whoever, because we have faith as fans. We need each other. We need you to bring the DC brand back. But in order for that to happen, a key player in this whole thing is Zack Snyder. Don't let these snakes inside of Warner Brothers finesse you away from that fact. Listen to us. Don't listen to them. Kevin Feige listens to his fans. So don't be teasing those Snyderverse. I saw Shazam the Fury of the Gods teasing Zack Snyder stuff and Zack Snyder's Justice League all the time. Don't be teasing. Don't fuck with us. Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do like the last regime. Don't do like Jason Keeler and fuck with us. At least he delivered the Snyder Cut under his watch. We are not evil. We will not chop you down, but we need something to drive towards. And you can't work faster. You got to work even faster than you're working now. That's the way how we feel about it. Because this thing should have been done. Listen, we should have had Zack Snyder's Justice League in 2017. Justice League 2 and 3 was supposed to come out in 2019. It's done 2022, man. This is stuff that's supposed to have happened yesteryear. So if pardon us if we as fans keep putting the pressure on WB Discovery nonstop, relentlessly, because we should have been much further ahead. We should have had a Cyborg movie by now. Oh shit, forget Cyborg. We should have been way ahead of the game. Okay? And Zack was his Zack Snyder's Justice League was gonna have Green Lanterns in it. Green Lanterns. The Flash movie, he gave the Flash movie a boost when Flash ran back through time. That was crazy to watch that, by the way. Okay? Cyborg was the heart of his movie. So a Cyborg movie would be just, it would make complete and utter sense to do. Cyborg coupling with the Flash. Why is Ray Fisher not there? Why is Ray Fisher not hired to do Flash? Now don't tell me, oh, he's in the Zack Snyder movie right now. I want to hear that. He should be in the Flash. Walter Hamada pulled the plug on him. And Walter Hamada is still there. Walter Hamada is still there. A destructive son of a bitch. Meanwhile, Ray Fisher has to be working with Zack Snyder. Make this make sense. So, I wish you guys would just fire this dude. I'd get him far away from there. Fire Jeff Johns. Make sure Jeff Johns ain't working on no other damn projects. Cut him off after, what is it, Black Adam? I think he's the last thing he's working with. After Black Adam, I just hope they just kick his ass off. Because them guys, anybody like them, even Casey Bloys. I don't know too much about Casey Bloys, you know. He's like, we'll see. We'll see. But them guys need to go. It's part of the old regime. They need to go. Right? So we could have nice movements and progress forward, not have people blocking the process because they have some other vision, which has nothing to do with the vision that Warner Brothers has right now and Discovery. Right? It was a blessing to see all Batman, Wonder Woman, Superman on the screen together in BVS. And then if you've seen Zack Snyder's Justice League, god damn it, man. The other additional elements. Aquaman was a great success. But that had to come out before the Snyder Cut. Now having seen the Snyder Cut, ain't nobody, I haven't even watched Aquaman. I haven't even watched the movie completely. You know, now the Snyder fans, you know, they supported Aquaman, but that was because Jason Momoa supported him, you know, at the time. Zack Snyder, you know, and James Wan had come up. That was a film that came out under, you know, the regime where Zack Snyder was in it. So everybody supported Aquaman, but they changed up Aquaman and they made it. Anyway, whatever. So Aquaman is on the. Now here's my thing. There's no solo Superman movie. Fans have been asking for a solo Superman film for the longest while. There's no Batman movie, but we got all these other fucking shit. Batgirl, Black Adam, all kinds of shit. But no Batman movie, right? And then on top of that, we've had one Wonder Woman movie, and then they earmarked another Wonder Woman movie because, you know, it's SWJ bullshit. And I look at it and I'm like, SJW, sorry. And I look at it and I'm like, what the fuck? And the second one was a flop, and yet they greenlight another one. Like, I always know you greenlight movies that are successful. in the theater. So anyway, I was just watching that. I was confused why what this regime was doing. Okay, none of it made sense. Not WBD, but the one before. So now that WBD is here and they're talking about quality over quantity, which I hope is the case. And Black Adam's coming out this year, which I'm not interested in, to be honest with you. The only way I'm going to watch Black Adam is if somebody says Henry Cavill is going to show up in Black Adam, and we see you're going to have to advertise that. You're going to have to show some form of Henry Cavill in there, because Black Adam's going to flop if there's no incentive by DC fans to see it. This is just the honest truth. You know, you got to give us something to want to see. Otherwise, it's gonna flop, and it's gonna flop hard. And Hamada's, baby and everything's gonna just poof out into nothingness. Because, quite frankly, I don't appreciate Walter Hamada. I don't appreciate uh, the content that he's been putting out there. I haven't gone. I think other than Wonder Woman, I haven't gone to the cinema to see nothing. Okay, I haven't even tried to watch any of the movies. I haven't watched The Suicide Squad yet because I don't care about it. So, quite frankly, for my interest to go back into DC, it calls uh, for David Zaslav and WBD to greenlight anything that has to do with either the Snyder Cut, meaning greenlight the Snyder Cut going into cinemas, greenlight the Air Cut to be put out into cinemas, or anything that's in good faith. Not just putting the actors into movies. Nobody gives a fuck about that. You know, you gotta do more. So hopefully they will listen, because if they don't, well, they'll just be like every other executive out there that that takes the property and doesn't listen to the fans and gets the results of flopping movies. Okay, there's a significant portion of the fan base that watches these movies who are Snyder fans or Snyder Cut fans or DCEU fans of movies associated with Zack Snyder. And still, to this day, the highest grossing movies in the DCEU have been associated with Zack Snyder. This is when Zack Snyder was actually there with them. The projects began under Zack Snyder. So if you want to see DC do well, you got to bring back Zack Snyder. That's it. Bottom line. And very importantly, you have to let Zack Snyder finish off his Justice League arc. And if he wants to do 4 movies instead of 3 with the Justice League, then you make him do that. Okay? Whatever you want to put in between that is fine. But this is what Restore the Snyderverse is about. Now, respect to Ben Affleck and the Batman movie, I would strongly suggest you get that thing out next year. I don't care what else is coming out. It's a low budget movie. It's not gonna be no high budget movie. And Deathstroke movie would be great too. These are IPs that people love, and I know that the actors and the directors that would be dealing with them would handle them with respect and the seriousness that is necessary to pull it off. That's why I would love to see those movies. Well, we'll see. And Ben Affleck basically kind of did a little something with Gavin O'Connor, the accountant, which was just dope. So anyway, that's all I got for you guys right now. I'm gonna catch you guys later. I am Christ and Disciple. Oh, one more thing. Scripture Boy has something for y'all. Judge me. I have tried to walk in my own integrity. I have trusted in the Lord. So I shall not fall off. This scripture is Psalms 26, verse 1. I hope David Zaslav could say that. I hope he knows the Lord's that he's accountable to, which is the fans. DC involves fans. DC involves fans. I'm going to say that again. DC involves fans. So I hope that he will justifiably take note of what the fans are trying to tell him. Because we've been saying it over and over again. Restore the Snyderverse. Peace. I'm out.